I released in 2015 called Just For You. And today we're going to talk about the tour that accompanied, there I got the word out, accompanied the album release. Basically, all of December 2015, I pretty much was gone because I went to Memphis with A Visible Christmas at the early part of December, and then I came back, did a week of finals with you all, and then I left on Thursday the 11th and dropped off my family in central Wisconsin, and then I went on into the Twin Cities alone and spent the next basically 2 weeks there by myself doing house shows and venues to promote the album and to share the music during that season. So that was the tour. And this is a visual of the tour poster, which we'll talk a little bit about, more about the timeline of that and just the specific venues a little bit later on. But I just kind of wanted you to see kind of the layout of the whole tour and what it actually ended up looking like when everything was said and done. So let's get started. The first thing that I kind of want to talk about, Hannah, and you're welcome to pull up that doc anytime, is just talking about why I did a tour to begin with. So as I mentioned to you all last week, the reason why this project existed was to serve as a brand launch for me as an independent artist, as well as the graduate final project that I had to do for my Master's of Music at McNally Smith College of Music. And so I had to go back to the Twin Cities to do my final recital for my graduate program. And so what I decided to do was to turn that final recital into an album release concert to let everyone know that I had produced an album. And then because I have so many friends and family in that area, I decided to try and book as many things as I possibly could in the area to help get the music out. So that's what I decided to do. I had to identify possible venues and places that I could connect with. And there's a great music scene in Minneapolis and St. Paul. But narrowing down where those places were actually going to be really came through relationship versus just a random booking that I was able to secure. Because at the time that I started booking for things, many of the venue nights for Christmas were already booked. And so I had to go a little bit more under the table with individuals, and that's how I got things secured at that point. So identifying who was going to be involved with that and the venues was kind of a tricky process for me because I was kind of behind the game in terms of like when I started booking it. This was a lot of responsibility that I took on myself that looking back at it now, I really wish that I would have involved someone who was more seasoned in management because what ended up happening is I spent a lot of my time trying to manage my own brand and do the booking for the venues, and it took away from the time that I was able to rehearse, to be able to polish the sound, to be able to fine-tune the specifics of how the artistry was going to happen. And so that's something that I kind of look back on it now and wish would have been a little bit different. But because, again, as I was trying to do this launch on my own and not having a fan base at all, I needed to really take on a lot of that responsibility myself, but it just came at the cost of my own time. So in terms of the just identifying who I would connect with and where I would end up going, I took that on myself rather than getting a manager involved. When I started off with the planning process, I immediately connected with a friend of mine in the Twin Cities. His name is Peter Shue, and he took on the role as the musical director for the album release concert. And through him, I hired a 4-piece rhythm section, a 3-piece horn section, and then I acquired a 6-piece string section on my own through other connections that I had from other students or professionals that I was working with when I was living there before. And so at the end of the day, We had a 4-piece rhythm section, a 3-piece horn section, and a 6-piece string section live on the stage for the album release concert. And I'm going to show you a clip of that concert a little bit later on. But Peter got involved about August 2015 to secure the musicians, and he contracted all the people and rehearsed them himself, so I literally had to show up and sing. That was the simple part on my end. When I went to my first band rehearsal with the rhythm section players and Peter, it was a unique experience to stand in front of some of the Twin Cities' finest players and have them just like hash through music that I had written, music that I had arranged, that I had worked hard on. And to have their respect and their excitement to play the music was huge.
So baby, here's my new Christmas tune. It's just